If you are still doing these things, then you're doing it all wrong, seriously. Annyeonghaseyo 여러분, welcome back to my channel, which aim is to provide you a sense of community where you feel motivated to learn Korean. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about how to remember Korean vocabularies better so that you would not just read them and forget. And if you want to see more videos like this or language self-study tips, then be sure to hit the subscribe button. Okay, let's go into the video. First tip I want to give to you is not to try to learn everything in one study session. Don't try to learn all the words. I've seen so many people make the same mistake. They want to learn colors, they want to learn fruit, they want to learn cities, they want to learn location, transportation, just in one study session. I know I said in this video that I was able to learn 2,000 words in 2 months, but even though I wanted to learn 2,000 words in 2 months, which was like 20 words per day, I was not studying 20 words while sitting down on one spot. I might study 5 words in the morning, 5 words in the afternoon, 5 words in the evening, and 5 words in the night. Me doing it like that, I'm not stressing myself too much compared to someone who is studying 20 words just by sitting down. You get bored of it, and you'll not even be able to like take in the information you're trying to get. Okay, so the second tip I want to give you is that you should try to understand what you are reading. It's not about quantity but about the quality of the time you're spending engaging yourself studying the vocabulary. But instead of you just studying so many words, try to understand. Even if it's just 5 words, it's more better than you just studying random words that do not have anything to do with what you're studying, and also you're not getting anything from it, you're not memorizing. And if words are similar, you're able to absorb it faster compared to someone who is just studying random words together and doesn't even understand where these words come from. Okay, the third tip I want to give to you is to link it or use new words. For example, if you learn a word like hammer, what is related to hammer? You know the door. What else is related to it? You know the nail. So you're trying to use words that connect each other. It will make it more easier for you to to learn words. For example, you learn school, learn bag, you don't learn pen. These words are so much similar and so much related to each other. Like, it will be more easier for you to learn it than for you to just learn so many random words that you end up not remembering at the end of the study session, which is not going to be a productive day for you. I know you must be wondering why this part of the video is a little bit dark. That's because the rain started pouring and all of a sudden everywhere became dark and I could not continue the video. So let's just continue anyway since it's better now. Okay, so the fourth thing I want to talk about is you writing down the words that you're learning. So for instance now, when you learn a new word, I know it's written down in the textbook, but rather than you just writing it into a system or writing it into a color note or something, you writing it down helps you to remember this word for a very longer time. Even science has proven that those who tend to write down the words that they learn tend to remember it longer than those who just read it or just write it. Okay, the fifth thing that I've been changing the game for me lately is using flashcards. Seriously, I cannot even say how much this method is very, very useful, and it has been very, very good, helping me to remember words for a longer time. So I have a special box where I keep all the words that I know in this box. So basically this is the box. Okay, so let me show you guys something. Okay, yeah, this one. I'm not sure if you can see it. I hope you can see it clearly. Okay, so as you can see, these flashcards, I was able to connect words and you placing maybe in places where you can see it up quickly, like in your kitchen or in your room. It's usually in my room, so it will definitely help you and you would not forget your words on time. Make examples around your life or your hobbies. For example, if you want to say if you learn a word like park, go on. I want to say I went to the park today. You're using the park that you learned and you're referring to something that you did in your life. Or let's say you drank juice or you drank orange juice or whatever you drank. You're trying to put in not just you reading, but you putting it into your personal life, and you're trying to imagine yourself doing that action, if it's an action, or you naming something. Like if you see a book, check. Like you see a glasses, and you trying to look at this word and illustrating it into your own personal life would help you. The seventh one I want to talk about is to talk about what you learned with someone. I know not everybody is that lucky to have a Korean friend when they first start learning Korean, but you can just like try to make sentences on your own, or try to talk to your own self, because that's one thing I do a lot. Like I talk to myself, imagine, okay, how will I make this sentence with me using this particular word? How will I make this sentence with me using this particular verb? For example, I want to say I go to school, Akere Gayo. How will I make this sentence using Gayo in the present tense, in the past tense? I'm talking to myself. But if I have like, obviously now that I have friends, I can just like send them a message, either pronouncing it or writing it down, like writing as a text message to the person, and the person will check it and see whether or not it's correct, whether or not I made any mistake. Okay, my next tip, which is the seventh one, is to say out loud whatever you've learned. I've seen so many people make this mistake that when they learn a word, instead of them to like pronounce it, they're reading it within themselves. I know there are some situations whereby you cannot like pronounce the word. Probably you are in a gathering, or you're just like trying to study and you're amongst people and you really cannot pronounce it. But what if you are having your own self-study session in your own room where you can pronounce the word, rather than you just saying it in your mind or saying it within yourself? Try to pronounce the words. You can, by that you can know how well you are pronouncing it, and you can also listen to your own pronunciation and see whether it sounds like a native speaker would pronounce it, or you even sound as close as a native speaker would be. And if you don't sound like that, then you know that you have to fix how you pronounce your words. Okay, this still brings us to the next one, which means to relate new things with what you already know. Okay, for instance, you've learned pink as a color, or you've learned white as a color. What about the opposite of white? It is what? Black. Okay, now that you know that the opposite of white is black, you're trying to relate it like in the sense that you're trying to say, okay, I wore a black dress yesterday, or I bought a pink dress at the supermarket. Things like that. It doesn't have to be something big, something like, you know, really big, but you're making sure that you are using those words that you're learning in your own sentences, and you're using it in your own life, would make you remember, compared to like the textbook based. Although the textbook based might look so natural, but you using it in your own life makes you remember it more often. For example, let's say for instance, we are trying to learn a word like, let's say 24 hours makes one day, and you want to use a trick to remember it. Let's say your friend's number ends with 24. So you like knowing that, okay, my friend's number ends with 24, I can definitely know that, okay, 24 hours ends the 24 hours makes one day. So it will definitely, like, you're trying to like link words together, make you remember these words for a longer time. 10th one is test and test. Test yourself, not just you like going through or reading the words, the textbook that you already have, but rather to test what you've learned. Try to ask yourself this question. Try to ask yourself what like the types of the words you're learning, or the other opposite of the words you're learning, rather than you just like reviewing. I know there's so many people like review their notes thinking that they'll remember, but when you like, when someone asks you a question on that thing, or when somebody like asks you or say something about that thing, you may not really have anything to say, because you really haven't tried to like test yourself and try to like ask yourself questions that will actually trigger you to think and to remember the words that you're learning. Okay, so the next one to talk about is an app called Infinite Korean. So this Infinite Korean has really changed the game for me. It has really helping me like to remember my words and to like, you know, make learning Korean fun for me. So it's like an app, and also it allows you to like remember the words. So how am I repeating my words? Okay, so okay, in the sense that it helps you categorize your words. For example, this lovely book that I have with me. Sorry. Okay, so I have the fruits, I have the colors, I think I've shown you guys before, meat, animals, and all of that. So it helps you to categorize, and also it's like a game. So if you lose, like it just gives you 3 lives. So if you lose the 3 lives, then you are like you have to like repeat the level. But once you pass that level, then you can go to other level. So these are my 11 tips that can help you to remember the vocabulary. And for everyone that's trying to learn Korean out there, that's trying to like learn and remember the words that they're learning, don't worry. As far as you put these things into consideration and use them like I have done, definitely going to help you, and I'm sure that you're definitely going to get better with time. And also, if you have anything that makes you remember Korean, or anything that, or any app or any resources that you know that you've used and has worked for you, please let me know in the description box, in the comment section rather, because I would like other people to also learn from your own experience and what you use. Okay, see you next time. And also, if you have any language related question, you can send it to me on Instagram. which is here. And also see you next time. Krom, 안녕.